Hello and welcome to another episode of An English Guy Watching Wrestling. I'm the English Guy, I'm Nick. Thank you so much for clicking on another video, I really do appreciate it. And in this, we're going to be reviewing the Ring of Honor TV episode from the 5th of February 2021. Now, two matches this week, as usually is on Ring of Honor television. And with that being said, let's get right into it. Opening match was a pure rules wrestling match between the world famous CB and Tracy Williams. Now, the world famous CB is Cheeseburger. Now, of course, everyone knows Cheeseburger as a Ring of Honor veteran. You know, he's been there pretty much his whole career. But he's decided to not use Cheeseburger anymore, just go the world famous CB. And why not? Something a bit different. And to be honest, I like him. He's a great wrestler. For his size, he can do so many cool things. And, you know, Tracy Williams is one of the best technical wrestlers Ring of Honor has. And in a pure rules wrestling match, I was expecting this to be a good match, and it was, to be fair. And really good to see a more, I will say, serious world famous CB now. And it was a good opening match, to be fair. And I do like the fact that Ring of Honor are trying to push the pure wrestling rules a bit more. Sorry, matches a bit more, I should say. But this was actually a fun little opener. And as there's one thing I really like is to see these matches back in Ring of Honor, and it just adds a new element to arguably the biggest independent promotion in the United States. So, good opening match. It was fun. That's the thumbs up for doing my other videos too. Right. Match after was the main event. It was an 8-man tag match. It was Jay Briscoe, Mark and Jay, the Briscoe brothers, PCO and Brody King as a tag team versus Flip Gordon. And I'm not going to try and pronounce this faction's name because I don't want to mispronounce it. I kind of don't like mispronouncing names, but I can say the individual names. Yeah, Dragon Lee, Bestia Del Ring, and Roosh, the Ring of Honor World Champion. And of course, Dragon Lee is the television champion. Now, this was a very interesting concept because of certain travel issues, certain situations of COVID. Some Ring of Honor wrestlers can't be for Ring of Honor for the taping. So, Ring of Honor decided to put Flip Gordon as the tag team partner for the Ring of Honor World Champion Roosh. And as it stands at the moment, Flip Gordon has a Ring of Honor World title match coming up. And I thought this is going to be so interesting. And of course, it was. Flip Gordon started the match. And every single time he went for a tag, his own tag team partner just jump off the apron, not tag him in. And I just loved it. And this is what makes me laugh. There's a heel faction, I will say this, so definitely a heel faction. But to see this do to Flip Gordon was just kind of a unique situation. Even though this has been said at this point in time, Shane Taylor is the next man to go for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship. Not too sure when that's going to be. No, I think it was announced just a couple of days ago. It's at the next pay-per-view, I should say, sorry. But this was a very, very unique and interesting thing to see when you've got four on the other side. You know, the Briscoes have been in Ring of Honor since day one. PCO, former world champion, and of course Brody King, who I think is really, really, really good. I really like Brody King. For a guy his size, he is so good. And this was actually, to be fair, a good 8-man tag match. The only thing I thought was a little bit unusual was the ending to the match. It was basically a double disqualification, which I thought was a bit unusual to see because, yes, Flip Gordon isn't getting along with his tag partners because, obviously, for obvious reasons, he's challenging Roosh. Well, may not be challenging Roosh, but will be challenging for the World Heavyweight Championship at a later date. And to see this in a double disqualification was a little bit unusual. But before that, obviously, we had the match, and the match itself was actually good. I thought it was a very interesting, yet of course, situation you kind of saw coming with Flip and his tag partners. Of course, on the other side, PCO, Brody, and Briscoes all got along, kept beating on Flip every time we get tagged. No. I thought, poor Flip. And the thing is, I really like Flip Gordon. I think he's so good. And I just couldn't help but love the poor, unfortunate situation that he's been put in. But it made perfect sense. And of course, personally, I do think it will be Roosh versus Flip Gordon in the future for the championship. Because I might be wrong, to my knowledge, so I don't think Flip Gordon has ever held the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship. Now, if I'm wrong, fair enough. My history sometimes, and knowledge on former champions is a little bit hazy sometimes. It's just the way it is. I'll be the first to admit that. But I think it will be these two, and honestly, I do like Rouge. I think he's really good, and he's a great champion. He's a great heel champion, and he's got a good heel faction. But I kind of want to see Flip win it because Flip worked so hard and is one of Ring of Honor's brightest stars, in my opinion. Who knows what's going to happen? Obviously, next championship match is going to be Shane Taylor versus Rouge. And also, I will say this: Rouge has signed a contract extension with Ring of Honor, and after there was interest from other people, but he signed a contract extension. Great to see because he fits in Ring of Honor very, very well. And that was basically that's it really for this review. A short one today, only 2 matches to cover, but of course I will be back next time for the next Ring of Honor review. But until that time, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it again, and I'll see you all next time. So until then, take care.